Okay, we are live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's Q&A with director, writer, producer, co-writers Vela Manu Saute and Sandra Kailahi of Brutal Lives, the feature film. I see it as the first ever Tongan language feature film, which is so exciting. And we are very honored to be able to share it with you with imagineNATIVE this year. My name is Siku Alalu. I am Inuk and Haitian Taino from Deninde in the northern part of the continent. And I am delighted to be one of the programmers with this year's festival. I'm wearing a gray shirt. I have long, dark, curly hair. I'm sitting in a living room with window in the background and some plants. And I'll pass it on to Vela to please introduce yourself.
Good morning, world. Whakalawhalahi atu. Talofa lava. Wahingoa aku ko Vela Masaute. Whanau I Niue. Nothing Sila. Warm Pacific greetings from New Zealand. It is Wangahau Niue. In Wangahau Niue. Yeah, in Auckland. Thank you, imagineNATIVE, for the opportunity. I so wish that we were there live because we had such a great time the last time we were there for our short film. Yeah, thank you. Looking forward to the conversation.
Sandra, I'll let you introduce yourself as well.
Oh, thank you. Malolele kainga, ko hoko ingoa, ko Sandra Kailahi. Hello, everyone. Greetings from New Zealand. I hail from New Zealand, born in New Zealand, but my father is from Tonga, which is in the Pacific. And like Bella said, it's an awesome opportunity to be here with you all. We were there, goodness, in 2017, and we had such a fantastic time at imagineNATIVE. So we're a little gutted that we can't be there in person, yes. But the world has changed, and but not so much that we can't connect through the internet. So it's just an awesome opportunity to be with you. And I noticed that you were talking about where you were. So I'm in the sitting room in my house, and I have got some Pacific Polynesian art behind me, and it's awesome to be here. Malo Albito.
Yes, sorry guys, speaking of art, this is my artwork at the back from our short film, The Messiah. This was especially made for the work. And now it's like the Michelangelo painting, but the Pacific version of a Niuean warrior, spiritual warrior with angel with a spear. And obviously down here is the devil, my spiritual space when I write and work is here. It's here all the time. And I reach that. That's the battle that I fight as a creative person. Up here is the Niuean warrior with the spear. And that's my energy that I reach to all the time when I work. I reach over the fight that I have to fight. Every day is a fight for me. So yeah, that's not my producer. That's a spirit.
Are you sure? Sometimes are you sure?
I can yeah. That's a struggle. Me as a creative native person have to go through to get the work done. So yeah. I'm sharing that with the world. I'm sharing the energy here with the world.
Well, thank you. Thank you both. It is such an honor to have you with us, to have that warrior energy and your creative brilliance. Yes, it's powerful. This film, I understand, is also a series that you created, and yeah, it is so exciting. Our programming committee, we were really, really thrilled to watch your film and to be able to show it here at imagineNATIVE. For myself, I am so interested in like this celebration as the first ever Tongan language drama series and also this film. I'm really interested to learn more about that process and what it's like to create and ground within your own language, and have that celebrated at this time. So please share.
Yeah. Do you want to go first, Vela?
No, you go first because
Okay.
you're older than me, so I'll coach it to
I was
respect.
going to say beauty
Elders.
before age, but I'll take that
Using
one.
my line.
Thank you, Siko, for that. This is, yeah, it's a bilingual drama. So it is Tongan and it is English. It is the first time that it's been funded and made. And what was, it's probably about 30 to 40% Tongan, and then the rest is in English with English subtitles, as people will see. What is so exciting about this is that in New Zealand, we have probably 9-10 different Pacific ethnicities from all around the Pacific region here. But within those ethnicities are some other different islands and different groupings. But in New Zealand, we haven't had any Tongan, we've had very limited Tongan films or dramas. And so being Tongan and talking to Vela, who's Niuean Samoan, we were talking about the story and the inspiration where it came from for Vela, and he'll talk about that. But I asked him and I said, can we make this a Tongan drama? And we both sort of thought at the time, can we do that? Because we didn't know that there would be enough Tongan actors or that we'd be able to do it. But we had the faith that that was the right thing to do. And I was so appreciative of Vela being open to that. And then we started writing it, and just, when things are right and they start to happen. And so we knew that this was the right thing to do. What is so good about it, the legend or the inspiration in it comes from a legend from my village, and it's an interpretation of it with Hina and Sinilau, and it's about this. They were both madly in love, and Sinilau jumped into the water to try and show off to Hina, and he got into trouble and he started to drown. And so Hina's jumped into the ocean to try and save him, but couldn't, and he drowned. And because she was so devastated by that, she turned into a shark and would swim those waters and would protect the waters around that village. And so we took that as inspiration and used that to base the taliwhekau, the spiritual element of the story. And then having the Tongan language in there was very important for us. And we have what's in the Tongan language called Heliaki, which is a metaphoric language. And so when they talk about the love, they might talk about a flower blooming and how that's important, rather than just, I love you. It's like the rose or the flower smells so beautiful and it symbolizes, life. And so we made sure that we use that language for the taliwhekau, or the kind of demon or the scary part of the film. Yeah. And so we wanted to do that, and then bring in the Tongan actors and do that. And we also incorporated many aspects of the Tongan culture. So right at the beginning, you kind of don't know what's happening when you see the woman sitting on the ground and she's getting emotional and her hair's been cut. And it's not until later on that you understand, oh, is this something that happens when a funeral takes place in the family? And just these beautiful little moments where we could incorporate that. So it is authentic and it feels you know, like we've had a lot of people say to us, oh, that's exactly what happens at our funeral, because it is. And when you get, when the oldest, or when the father passes away, all of the daughters get their hair cut, and it's cut by their fahu, which is the paternal aunt. And depending on how good your aunt is, you can have some really nasty hairstyles come out at the end of that. But it's part and parcel of that cultural aspect. So it was such a celebration to be able to do that and to be able to incorporate that into the series. But I'll let Vela talk a little bit more too from his perspective.
You know,
Oh, no.
that actually translates across the Pacific, and a lot of Indigenous cultures on our side also share very similar customs of cutting our hair. So yeah, that it just, so many things translate in very interesting ways, and they hit home even very far away.
Yes.
Oh, thank you for sharing that.
Yes. Yeah, no, fantastic. Thank you, Sandra. And it's a wonderful collaboration between myself and producer Sandra. You know, Sandra already said it all. You know, the love we have for the series, and the love we have for the culture, and how do we bring that culture into the visual storytelling was incredible. It was, you know, I don't say it's mine all the time, because I'm open for collaboration, and that's my strength with the working with Sandra. And we just had such a great time making it. And, you know, as a director, I get to do the things that I want to do, how the camera should be placed, how long the camera should held on the actor. You know, during the shoot, we can hold it for a long time until all the whole crew turn around to me and waiting for me to go, when should we cut? When should we cut? Let it roll, let it roll. And Sandra's right. I wrote it for a Samoan family because, you know, if it's not mine, I don't feel that I should go there with it, because I don't have the blessings for my ancestor, for my creativity. So when Sandra suggested that we should make it Tongan, the first worry that I had was we don't have enough Tongans to go to those levels. And I mean, in terms of the performance, or, you know, I write because I know the people that I'm working with to bring the work forward. So it just have to trust, and we found some amazing, incredible people. The lead actor that I've known since childhood, and we just found this connection. We used to live next door to each other when we first arrived to the island. We didn't even know that until we started connecting. Like we lived in flats, but there was 4 houses away. You know, it's like, yeah, it was a reconnection. It was bringing our story forward, hearing the tone, the language, the treated with respect, but through a Pacific lens, you know. And it was a lot of amazing stuff. We ate great food. We celebrated with the crew. We drank, we ate, we sang, we danced. It was just, you know, it's the way the village should do, the way how we and this is our 4th project too. So we have gone to like each other, you know, and kind of and Sandra, you know, when we first met, it's like, I know something about you, you know something about me. So we both met, and we paid our own our own lunch after that, and both were, oh gosh, I had to work with her now. It's like, but we got to love and respect one another, and say, okay, yeah, all right, I hear what you're saying, and wonderful. But you know, it's not when you know, we agree that when you say demon, that's European spirits. If you come to my homeland, our dead are buried in front of our houses. You know, we still say hello to the tombstone. So the Talafekau is a warrior, but Talafekau means the messenger. So he's here on behalf of everybody else. So it was a wonderful thing to be. It's a collaboration too, also with our actors and everybody who's being part of this wonderful journey. So yeah, I'm just always looking forward to be, to collaborating work. It's all energy, and you got to respect the journey, respect the process. And it's something that I've learned along the way. So for me, it's like, oh man, we got to get this imagineNATIVE. We had such a great time. I saw Niagara Falls. I did some amazing shopping there. The food was incredible. I keep saying the food was incredible. But also in the series, also to deal with relationship. And the relationship, my father had passed on, moved on. And we never got to sort it out. So that was the starting point of it. And for the love of boxing, because my family sport is boxing, I love it. I love it. I love it so much. But the core of it is to deal with relationship with us and our child. I've learned from the past. That's the past. I learned. I feel I become a better father because of what I've learned from me and my father. And this must transcend to the series. They're asking for their father. They're asking for their fathers. We as specific people, father. There's so many fathers. So it's that. And to deal with the daughter is the same I have with my daughter. It's a battle on screen and a battle, off screen. So yeah, that's the personal touches to it. And I keep referring back to that. So it was wonderful. It's so much, and it comes through the screen, the performance. Yes. I was just saying to San how beautiful it is for the camera just to hold on brown people's face and get emotional. What I mean? I just love it. When she walks up to her father and the camera is just sitting on her, it's like I can watch that all day. And we have the luxury of doing that, being able to direct our actors like that, not to rush it, just to enjoy the craft. We can do it too. We can do it too. So that for me was a joy to work with.
And it absolutely should be in your own hands and done with love, and all of these based in these real life relationships, and your love and respect for your own culture and for the different layers of these stories. They really do. They come through in beautiful, moving, very powerful ways. And it's an honor to be able to witness that. I forgot to let the audience know that if you have any questions and want to join in the conversation, you are welcome to do so. You can put your questions in the chat, and we will get to those in this discussion as we can. I am interested to know about why this story in particular was such what was the drive and the inspiration to see this particular story come to life on the screen, of a fallen hero and a father making right with the past, kind of coming back into that protector role. There's so much that I received as an audience member witnessing this story, but I really wanted to know what was that kind of impetus for you to choose this in particular?
I've been going on about a film making forever. Ever since a child, when I first saw film on screen back in our village, I've been wanting to tell a visual story for such a long time, especially and it's, like I said, it's a collaboration between myself and Sandra. What story we want to tell? I think it was Sandra who brought into the spiritual element to it, and we wanted just to make it, no matter what the cost is. Because we first made a small one first in the beginning, and it's always a collaboration between us and the people that we work with. And this story we must tell. I know the story well. I know the fallen champ, the fallen hero. I know that. And that's just in everybody life. There always, what happened to that person in the beginning, And it's the fallen hero. They make the promise to the father that I will get this. And the father passes on, didn't have the opportunity to do it. loses his kids along the way. I wanted all those elements into it. I was, I'm inspired about that, by my own journey. And we wanted to tell this particular story. And like I said, Sandra just been an awesome producer, that being able to understand what it is. And I was going through a rough time too. Isn't that right, Sandra? I was blinded for 6 months. I had no sight. I had no sight in my eyes. I had like, I don't know how we worked through that, but I was desperate in me. It's like, my gosh, I might never come back. I'm the fallen hero in this story. I might never come back. Sandra knows. She came along. She goes, oh my gosh, I lost my eyesight. It's like, it's like, if I have to make one story, it will be this, And I always go back to that when we're shooting. It's like I get an opportunity for a second opportunity to tell this particular story. And I knew I'm not going to mess up, because I was surrounded by amazing people. It's great. And full of women. The women's, I get bullied all the time with these women, but this was it. Well, it was amazing. It was amazing. I had an amazing space. I walk into that space feeling amazing. And our DOP, Grant McKinnon, big respect, and huge to it. It's a collaboration, people. We work as a village collective. Everybody goes, I check on everybody. I learn these things along the way. Check on my actors, check on my crew, make sure everybody's fine. Then we always say a prayer to protect us. Then we go forward together as a village. And lots of laugh. We had such a laugh working with the actors, especially if you know them really well. And I think for me, if I have to make one thing, that would, but we're getting a second opportunity again to explore and take these stories further, deeper to the ocean than what it was. And we're just writing at the moment. We're just like, woo, we're just like little kids. We're just jumping up and down, so happy about it. But we wanted to tell a particular story that has an impact on the world. And then it's not about us going, oh, we want to make it for these people to like. No, we like it first. We love it first. We love our story first. We love our culture first. This is who we are, Pacific Islander here, and if it made a huge impact on people. The intention for us was to make it for ourselves. How can we better ourselves telling visual story? But there's things here, obviously, when you look back at it. For me, it's like, I wish I could, but that's just it. You can never be satisfied with the work. You can never be satisfied with the work. But yeah.
I think for me, like Bella shared, had a very, testing relationship with his father. So did I. So there's an element of lupe, that comes from inspiration from my experiences with my father as well. And we got challenged on that as well from our Tongan community, saying you would never do that, to your father and disrespect your father, even if he has been away a long time. But there are also others, probably if that was in Tonga, yes, you wouldn't do that. Here in New Zealand, different. You not saying that it's acceptable, but just saying that it's different because the environment's different here. And we had a lot of people tell us that they could relate to that relationship, and that actually things like that do happen in their family. So the inspiration came from what we both know around our relationships, Bella with his daughter, and then myself with my dad. The spiritual element, I talked to Bella when we were doing it, and I said, I think that we need to go to this place because this is so important to us as Pacific people, as Tongans. And I shared in a story that when I was much older and I went to Tonga to spend some time with my family over there, my grandmother she was living there, and she just said to me, I'm going to do a prayer. And she said, I'm going to tell the ancestors that you're here so that they don't come and do anything to you. And that I was kind of like, okay, interesting. And then I heard her praying out loud. And then afterwards, when I was talking to my family, they're like, oh yeah, because you don't just go there and not tell people who you are. And it's just like, you just don't go rock up to your family cemetery and just have a look at it. You've got to go with your, you know, your family who can talk to the dead, to your ancestors, and let them know who you're there. So there was that spiritual element that I knew was very important. And something that's been very interesting with us during the series, right from the beginning when we started talking about it, to when we were writing it, to we were doing all the different things, areas with it, Vala and I would be sitting there and the curtain would drop or the door would slam and things would happen, and we'd look at each other and we'd go, okay, the Talawhikao's here with us. Not in a bad way either. We just knew that we were being looked after, you know, there was something there that was with us. And when we started the series, I got a very good friend who was a matapule, which is a noble, the orator for the nobles in our culture. So you've got the king in Tonga, you've got the nobles, and then you've got what we call everyone else / the commoners. And I asked him to come and bless us, and he said, oh, I can't bless it for everybody, but I can do like a prayer or an opening. And what was really important, he said, to bless those who are not from Sandra's village, to bless, you know, those who are here, to tell the story and to protect them. And we thought, oh yeah, you know, I can tell the story, or we can bring the story from the legend from our area and use that, but I can't tell it from somebody else's area, which I think, you know, I'm pretty sure is common around the Indigenous, you know, cultures, and also appropriation and all of that comes into it. So that was very important for us to be able to collaborate on that, and then to use that and to set the scene, and then to just, you know, really work through it. And the whaito'o, or the healer that's brought into the story, that is a practicing art in Tonga today. It happens all the time. And so we just know that was an important aspect, and we kind of were inspired by that to take it to another level. But all of these elements were important with the relationship. I think you can tell Vala and I get on really well. We have very, you know, great love and respect for each other. And we hear each other out. We don't always agree, but we have a great way of being able to work together. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, there are some creative challenges too with my producer, you know, because one crack a moment with I love the grass high, because that's the visual, you know, I want to see on screen. But then they say, oh, Tom, don't do that. They'll cut that grass. It's like, oh gosh, I had to compromise with these, you know. So some, and Sandra's absolutely right in cultural stuff. You know, the daughter would not step that line, but we needed it. That you know, the story needed it and needed. She needed to confront him, and she needed to do something with it. It was speaking out to her. So it's, you know, it's the director. I knew, it's like in my heart, said she needs to do something. She just cannot, you know. Yes. Her name's Lupe, which is a bird, which is fly. So, you know, it's a bird. She needs to, you know, it's just amazing. And there are things that we caught on the day, just because of the energy thing. But there was one incident that happened to me, and I got it on camera. I was driving home after a session with Brutal Live, and I was at the lights, and I got this to camera, and my whole car went red. The whole car just went red. My whole inside of my car just went red, and I just acknowledge it. It's the energy. It's the Talawhikao'a, the messenger. I got excited at the same time. I was afraid too, but it's like what Sandra says. When we do something, it's like when she was just talking about the Talawhikao'a, I got cut off. You know, it's like, okay, all right, okay. You know, but it's an energy, and we embrace it. We embrace our spirits, because they guide us. They guide me. And we have to go, okay, it's good. It's a good thing for us. It's not like the Western world is a demon or is an omen. No, it's our spirit. We live with them. So
that's actually,
it's wonderful.
it's that's one of the aspects that I love most about this film, is that the supernatural world, the spiritual element is interwoven with the real life experience of these people and this family, in a way that I feel like many Indigenous people would identify with. We live in a very real relationship with, the world, the spirit world, and honoring all life forms, and we have an understanding and a reverence for those supernatural beings and those forces in our lives, and with that spirit in particular in your film, I was so appreciative that you portrayed him as powerful and with reverence. And even though he could be seen as maybe a villain or like a scary figure, I had so much respect for the way that you portrayed him in his own right, which is also very important to appreciate, like not in the way that Western gaze would look at things like that, or try and tell you it's good or bad or evil or something like that. It's something to be very seriously respected, and that relationship there has to be integrity in the way that you relate with that. I think we have time for one more question. We have about 10 minutes left, and I wanted to know, because I see that you have also been part of the Tenesa series, which I'm seeing little bits about, because there's so much power and exciting content coming from your part of the world, and in reclaiming the genre of horror, and there's elements of that in Brutal Lives. Why this genre in particular? What is the thing in that for you, for reclaiming this on your own terms, with your own cultural stories?
I'll talk a little bit, and then I'll hand it to Vela, because he's been part of Te Nesa as well, and he can talk to that. I think you really, Siku, you hit it on the head. It's about us telling our narratives our way. And I think that's really important. And the spiritual element, in the Tongan way, the Christianity is hugely important. A lot of our population still go to church, and religion plays a huge role in our lives. But there's also, before Christianity, we had our own gods, and we had whether they were demigods or whether it was the god of the sea or of plants. And so we know that there's that element that's still really important. And then because that we have I suppose the traditional medicine, or the whaito'o, who use the plants, who are able to use different methods to get rid of or to release spirits that have inhabited souls. There's still it's still a practicing part of our lives as well. So it's that contradiction with the Christianity and also the spirituality around that, and also about where we think that we go after life and what that may look like with the underworld. So it's important for us to tell it our way, and that we are able, like Vela said, we don't sensationalize who the Talawhekau is, but we give him that mana, that respect that he has, but also there's that element of, you know, the two worlds coming together. So being able to do that our way and infusing our culture, our narrative is hugely important and empowering. And also being able to do that. And we know that this series or the film doesn't just resonate with Tongans or Pacific or Samoans. It resonates universally because of the themes. So it's really important. But I wanted to just kind of give my perspective on that and then hand it to Vela, because he's been involved with both, which is really exciting.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's just I love what the spiritual world had to bring to the visual storytelling, because it's unknown and gives me a sense of a freedom to tell an audience about a particular energy. But it's more than that. My story is always, right from the beginning, it always has that spiritual element to it. You know, just recently I posted up a video when I went back home after 25 years later, you know, and an old man says to me, "You are coming back home to reconnect with your spiritual homeland. This is where you're going to find the energy, our spirits, our stories, our energy." And it goes both hand in hand with the work. It gives me energy, really. You know, it gives me energy. It's like I said about my backdrop here. It gives me energy. It's an amazing energy to embrace, to you know, be creative, and yeah. But it's more than that. It's and we just love it because it gives us license to go more and deeper, and how else we can play with shadows, how else we can embrace shadows, energy, and all that. It's more, but you know, the camera picks it up. We got to allow that for the camera to pick it up. The energy, we're going to allow it. We're not afraid of it. We're going to allow it for the camera. It's so powerful that it's going to pick up those, you know. And you speak about the particular actor that worked on Brutal Lives, Ale Pate. But I've known him for years. And if there's anybody that scares me as a teenager in the show, it was him. And I write, and it's a true story. It was like it rang him after. He goes, "Oh, I haven't heard from you for close to 30 years," because he helped me, which we worked together. Like, oh my gosh, it was like, it brings that energy, you know what I mean. So it's an energy thing. So you remember people, you remember things, and we're bringing, you know, those that's gone before us, bringing our ancestor stories onto the screen with the actors now. It's a marriage, a combination of two things. We embrace it. We take it on board. It's ours to tell the world that our stories. We all share the same thing. You know, we all gonna go, but we are our you know, my father's still around. Everybody's still, yeah. It's deep, but it's wonderful, and we love it. We just embrace it all the time. So, yeah. And it's Sunday here today, guys, so everybody go to church. That's different, you know, like, yeah, you got the church to, yeah. But yeah, I mean, even having a conversation about this is wonderful. The opportunity we get, you know, and then I know you guys asked for me, but you know, Sandra, you know,
it's such a joy to have you both.
I value her. I value, you know, as long as her hair is right, she gets up in the morning to get her hair right. And that's all. I was going about my producers to make sure her hair is right, that she's fine. But
it's important.
It's like
exactly right. It's like, exactly.
It's your like, power.
That's right.
There's a short film.
No, we had to wear flower. we had to wear flowers. She wearing a flower. I represent a flower. Yeah. But it's just having the opportunity to have the conversation about it.
Yeah.
And we were, you know, like you're saying, Siku, we all are connected through our spirits, through our ancestors. So it's a joy, awesome. But like I said, it's a shame we can't be an imagineNATIVE
Yes,
to
I feel the same
go
way. I'm
shopping. I mean,
actually,
to go and enjoy all the other films.
I think the Talafikau's telling you that that's enough now. Thank you, Bella.
I feel the same way. I'm in British Columbia on the other side of the continent. I'm not able to be an imagineNATIVE either. And
wow.
I wish that we could have been all together in person. And yeah, just thank you. Thank you for what you were creating and sharing with the world, and this film in particular. Thank you for joining us. It is so wonderful to hear your input, and especially about this, embracing the collaboration and embracing that energy, the power that you speak about, and bringing that in. I think that so many Indigenous filmmakers are, we can't hear that message enough to embrace that energy and our spiritual strength, and to bring that in and to work collaboratively with it and with each other. So I'm so energized by this conversation and so inspired by both of you, and congratulations on this film and the series and everything that you are bringing forward.
Thank you. And I just want to acknowledge both Jamie and Catherine for their awesome signing. I think Bella and I are a little bit excited. This is the first time that we've been signed. Had that as that facility as well, and so that's just want to acknowledge them too. And you, Siku, thank you. What an amazing opportunity for us, very humbled all this way around, halfway around the world, and that we get to talk about this and our passion. Just want to acknowledge also Caitlin and all of the team at imagineNATIVE. Thank you so much for this opportunity to be part of this incredible festival.
Caitlin says thank you, Jamie and Catherine, for the amazing work, and just, yes, it's so reciprocated. Thank you. And we send our love and our blessings to you in Aotearoa, and wish you the best.
Malo ofalai atu. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Take care.